Hello guys, today we have Vinchester with us and he's going to talk a bit about the map Eruption, one of his home maps for Red Bull Wall 05. So, hello Vinchester, thank you so much for joining us, this is really important for us. Before we dive into the
Mhm.
strategy for the map, could you tell us a bit about your experience as a player?
Yeah, hello everyone. Of course, I'm playing competitive scene for several years, and there was, of course, a lot of settings, a lot of maps, and there it's hard to know everything and prepare to everything. So, yep, I just like the Age of Empires and playing this for several years, and never thought that I'll be one of the best players, but probably now I can compete with the best players in the world.
So the map we were talking about, we were going to talk about today is Eruption. Could you give us a little bit of a rundown on what to expect? Like, what does the map look, and what strategies you usually would pick for the map?
Yes, of course. So Eruption is kind of aggressive map as I see it, because there's most of the important resources like gold in the middle of the map, and you really need to fight for this. And there is a big hill, so this hill is more than on the kind of same maps like Gold Rush or Golden Pit probably, and this hill is much closer to enemy's base. So whatever control this hill is probably will win the game. So I mostly play this map in Empire Wars mode, but I think RM mode is much more interesting for this because there will be more options. So yep, it's just overall aggressive map, and you need to try to take control over the middle of the map with important resource.
And so, with that in mind, what do you think that the new players and also experienced players should expect and focus while they are trying to play the map?
Uh-huh. So I think, as I said already, this aggressive map, then players more should focus on the army control, more making army produce, and think about the army composition. So like in random map, it's going to be probably more castle age gaming, not feudal, because it's kind of wallable map. So I think one of the best strategy is go castle age as fast as possible and try to make as much good units as you can. So it can be siege monk, it can be knights plus maybe even archers. So it's all depend on the thief and strategy you want to take. But I would suggest to make strong gold units in early castle age and try to make them a lot, and then later just build the TCs in case if you really need for this and you have more resources. So the goal should be is make good strong mostly gold army and try to control the area around the middle.
So yeah, you said the map is typically more open, and
Mhm.
given your army comps, what should be the best civs to pick on this map?
Yeah, of course. Again, I'm mostly talking about Empire Wars, and there is Mesa Civs is probably the best civ for this map because of the eagle plus monks and Deuce composition plus pikes. If you're playing versus knight, is probably the most powerful combo and the best way to play it in Castle Age. But also good Cav civ like Burbs, Franks, maybe even Hans, Tatars, of course. Those chiefs all good as well because of their strong cavalry, or like I said, Hans and Tatters because of their cav archers. Because with mobility, you can go up the hill when you want and try to take better fights than other chiefs can. And else, I think there can be interesting options with some unique chief because yeah, this is RM, so fast castles is more flexible. So you can take the stone, you can go for castle faster than your opponent, which is going for knights, etc. So I want to say that maybe some cities with good unique unit can work. So maybe like Spanish, Koreans, Berbs. Not Mongols, but probably Mongols as well, because there's a lot of hunt in the middle with those deers. So there can be other options with strong unique unit with civs you want to go for it. So yep, overall this is like this. So this is mobile, strong, and fast army.
You talked about a lot about going castle age, but what
Mhm.
if a player wants to counter that play? Like, I know my opponent is going for fast castle almost with a castle with Berbers to go Camel Archer, a super strong unit in Castle Age. What
Mhm.
should my mindset be?
Maybe there's strategies with castle. Yeah, it's hard to say because it's mostly depend on the map. So you need to scout your opponent. The first you can think about the feudal aggression, if you can see the bad stone or bad gold, you can try to go forward with men-at-arms. So something like 20, 21, maybe 21 population up, go like for 3-4 militia, go forward, try to make tower, try to trade the stone, so tower there's tower, then try to make another one and force him to spend stone for towers instead of castle. So that can be the play as well. But if let's say Burp will go not for stone approach, but for just trash fast castle into knights, then probably it's gonna be hard for you to play with this strat. So you need to be sure he's going for castle. Then you can go for forward. Maybe else with I'm not sure it's also depend on the map, yeah, but sometimes maybe like if you are Celt or Slavs or any other civ with good siege, then you can try to go for a castle age and go for monk siege attack. So like something like Juan Grash. So it can work as well because siege is kind of good with good amounts. It's fine there to scan larger. So if you have like 4-5 scorpions, 3-4 mangonels, then it's gonna be hard for them to micro and fight. And also have some monks to convert the knights, or maybe sometimes with redemption to convert enemy siege can be nice as well. And if castle will be not in the best position, then you can maybe even attack from this hill and try to make the damage. And behind this, control the middle area with a little boom, maybe fast in playthrough. So and just make it something like arena plays.
This map can tends to enable some sort of castle age aggression in RM, then, as you are saying. But with that in mind, what if you could advise 3 build orders for our lower elo players? What build orders would you advise them to go for to practice for this map?
Maybe yeah, of course it depends on from hardest to easier, and probably the easier build is just something like 28 with loom plus 2 villagers in feudal age into castle. So something like big Spanish, try to wall a little bit, and just make sure you'll make a good fast castle and just go for it. Make a lot of walls in case if you get forward, just 2 maybe. Yeah, if there is forward, of course, you can make second, third layer of wall in place. Where is it? The enemy tower, man-at-arms or something. Just go for fast castle, build castle, and try to make conks into 1 GC with siege if you need, and just out push in the middle and build a second castle on the hill. So that can be probably the easiest way to play it, like Spanish the best civ for it. Then probably hard ways to make it. This is something like trash plus fast castle. It depends on what you will play against. Sometimes you need walls like versus scouts. Versus probably enemies trash fast castle who don't really need a lot of walls, and go for probably archers is easier. But sometimes you can go into knights with good civ like Perps and probably Franks or something like this. And probably a little bit more hard build is a really early scout trash with some scouts to counter trash or man-at-arms, try to take the map control, and then try to survive versus super early aggression versus fast castle player, and go castle a little bit later and make a lot of army like a lot of knights, monk, and later siege, probably a second TC somewhere on stone, and build a castle edge in the middle in case if you're a Frank or Bear. So probably yeah, that was from easier to harder build order, but it depends on execution.
Finally, and this last one you already mentioned a lot of these. So lastly, there are a few players that might want to take a bit of a trolley approach on this map. Do you think there is some kind of trolley strat that they could go for if they wanted to?
So maybe one of the fun suggestion is like I had one of the troll strat like super fast up with Saracen and try to go for the castle on enemy like on 13 minutes. So if someone will learn build order, it can work even versus, especially versus fast castle players. So maybe like super fast up with Saracen or Mongols or something, try to go try to place castle forward, try to control the middle. As Saracen, you can take the gold in the middle, try to buy everything you need for that. So something like this may work. Maybe yeah, if I can and allowed to do it, then you can probably watch my last video on YouTube. It's on mostly in Russian language, but there's a good build order, and this is this strat. I mean, this is exactly what can work on this map versus fast castle players. So you can probably later check it. And I don't know, maybe like crazy trashes, try to control as much map as possible. and try to control the middle, go in the middle with a lot of wheels, try to get a lot of gold, switch it into fasting, make a lot of monks across the map, and just play from this middle hill and try to make your base, your main base in the middle without mostly farms and wood, and just take the gold and try to make the army you can. So that can be like, it can bring some crazy game when some of the players will be with better economy across the corners or edge of the maps, and one player will be in the middle with controlling like huge amount of monks and gold, etc. So that can be interesting games.
Thanks a lot, Vinchester. Thank you. This is really important for us. Do you have? You talked about a YouTube. Do you have a YouTube and do you stream on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm usually streaming on Twitch. There is mostly Russian language, but sometimes there is English stream as well, same as on YouTube. But yeah, YouTube is mostly Russian content. But anyway, I think there is a video, so if you watch it, you'll understand most of the things happen on this video. So, but yeah, this is mostly so Twitch and YouTube.
Oh well. Thanks, Vinchester. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, as well. So good luck in your tournament, and I hope you'll have a fun games with this map.